In other news, protests in the Polish capital Warsaw have turned violent as demonstrators clash with police. Thousands have been rallying against a government decision to restrict journalists' access to lawmakers in Parliament. Crowds had gathered outside the building after the ruling Law and Justice Party moved the location of a key vote on next year's budget and blocked access to the media. The opposition, though, claim the move made the vote illegal. The crisis is thought to be the gravest political standoff in the country for years. Meanwhile, Poland is also engaged in an ongoing battle with Brussels at the moment, which has accused Warsaw of undermining the rule of law in the country. The European Parliament debated the issue again last week. Brussels reiterated concerns over the Polish government's amendments to the country's constitutional court, which, in its view, violates democratic principles.
I am deeply concerned by these new developments, which threaten to deepen the rule of law crisis in Poland. I therefore urgently call on the Polish authorities not to put into force the new laws. This is not a political question. It is about our fundamental values.
However, Poland has refused to implement any of the recommendations that Brussels put forward in the summer. The country's Prime Minister says they are incompatible with the interests of the Polish state and also its people. Some journalists think that what we are seeing at the moment is a split between the EU and Poland, and now the country is taking a more Eurosceptic stance.
Have already an effective split between Europe and Eastern Europe. I think it's effectively a deadlock because the Polish government will not move towards the conditions the European Commission has already set up. On the other hand, the European Commission will not follow any stiff and harsh sanctions against Poland. I do not see this.
What I would say is that there are a lot of contradictions going on in the EU, and of course we've just heard the EU make a statement officially that they hope that Poland doesn't enforce this piece of legislation. And what's very interesting about this also is that Poland is saying that it needs to have this law in place as a matter of its own sovereign state institution. So then we have another contradiction. The present government is taking a sort of a Brexit type of Eurosceptic attitude, at least in connection with this piece alone. So of course, we should be looking at all of these different angles.